Hello friends, Mel Jeffcoat here. Today I'm going to talk about one of the books that I just finished reading and give you a little book review. So the book is Manson Wanted to Live Here by Isaac Crow. This is a book by a local author here in Wheeling, West Virginia. And it's a series of short stories. It's his first book that are informed by his childhood growing up in Moundsville, West Virginia, which is just down the river from here. And, you know, everything in this book is wonderful. It took me less than a day to fly through it. Um, and I just wanted to read a little bit to you from the very first story, which is called Flipped. And, if you like it, maybe you could check out his blog and maybe order the book from him. I'll be putting the address for that in the description. So the first story is Flipped. My name is Jamie, and I'm a coward. I wasn't always a coward. I remembered the day that I started becoming a coward. It was the day I had a four-wheeler on top of me. Let me clarify my definition of the word coward for the purpose of my story. A coward is someone who is afraid or reluctant to leave their comfort zone, not to be confused with a dirty coward, someone who will sacrifice their morals and screw over their friends to avoid something difficult. The cowardly lion came through for his friends. Otherwise, he'd be the dirty cowardly lion. You get it? Few cowards can pinpoint the moment they became cowards. But I'm in therapy, so I'm real insightful about myself. I had this epiphany in therapy when we were discussing sixth grade. My therapist says a lot of people have epiphanies while discussing sixth grade, a crucial time in our adolescence, apparently. Riding four-wheelers is a normal part of life in rural West Virginia. If you're not familiar, I'm referring to all-terrain vehicles, or ATVs. They're essentially motorcycles with four wheels, hence the nickname. Four-wheelers can't be used on the main roads, but there are plenty of back roads and mud pits, places where speed limits don't exist. Go fast and get messy, and don't wear a helmet unless you're a wimp. I never did anything like race or go mud bogging, mostly because I didn't have many friends. Getting muddy by yourself isn't as fun. Might as well just be a pig. But I drove my four-wheeler on our dirt road to visit relatives, go to the barn, or meet up with my dad in the fields. I didn't go joyriding. It was a practical mode of underage transportation. I was no speed demon by any stretch of the imagination. But one of those rare days when I decided to take a risk would be a day I'd regret. Dad had left the four-wheeler up at a neighbor's house. They were always swapping out vehicles. He probably had the neighbor's tractor or something. Mom stopped there on our way home from school and told me to drive the four-wheeler home for him, and she would follow in the car with my sister. I took off in front of them while my mom stayed parked to have a chat with the neighbors. Just a typical day. The distance between the two houses is about a quarter of a mile. I was anxious to get there as fast as I could, probably to play video games or raid nutty bars from the pantry. So I figured I'd bump myself up to third gear. I didn't have a clear concept of gears and shifting up back then. From what I understood, if you wanted to go faster, you had to shift to a higher gear, otherwise the vehicle would explode. I wasn't supposed to go above second gear, but what can I say? I was a 12-year-old kid who just wanted a taste of danger. So I clicked up the gear shift with my foot and took off at a nice, I guess 25 miles per hour. Maybe not even that fast, but it felt satisfying. I decided to cut through our front yard, which meant going up a small bank. I could have kept driving 20 more feet to use the flat, level driveway, but I didn't want to waste those precious seconds. Plus, it's more fun to go up a hill. A four-wheeler is an all-terrain vehicle after all. So I cut left into the yard and kept the handlebars in the turn left position to go towards the house. I was apparently going too fast to be turning this sharp, because physics took hold and I felt the left side wheels come off the ground. I had time to think to myself, oh crap, during that frozen second when I was lopsided. In my memory, I want to think I tried shifting my weight to the other side. I probably didn't, because I wasn't that fast or that smart, but if I did, it was all in vain anyway. Time resumed, and I felt my body hit the ground as the bike continued falling. All of a sudden, I was on the grass with my legs pinned underneath the four-wheeler. The handlebars pressed painfully into my left leg. The engine purred above my head as I lay there, pinned down in my own front yard. So I'll stop there. Like I said, Manson Wanted to Live Here and Other Stories by Isaac Crow. And I'll just go ahead and say which ones are my two favorites. There's one called Does Not Count, which is a wonderful story about a boy who grows up a bit over the summer. And then there's Ronnie, which is a rather creepy sort of ghost story. It leaves a lot unsaid, leaves a lot to the imagination, which just makes it creepier. So between the two of those, I can't really choose. Those were my two favorites, but it was all wonderful. Oh, that's it for today. Until next time, keep exploring.